Hello everybody, welcome to Kentcore. I'm your host Alaina. Tonight, UNC D returns to the studio to present Mumble Jazz.
Can we edit that and maybe do that one over again? I didn't think that was good. Alright, if we could start over from the top. This isn't live. Oh, it is.
Oh. Okay.
Alright, if you're editing, just pick it up right here.
Alright everybody, that was UNC D presenting his own genre, mumble jazz. Don't go anywhere though, we'll be sitting down with UNC D after the break. Hey, welcome back. I'm here with Dante, also known as UNC D. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. How do you feel about your performance? Like,
It was a lot of fun today.
that was pretty interesting. The
I
whole
will say that.
like
Oh, thank you.
the sounds. Like, what is that mumbling? Like, where did that come from? Like,
Well, I actually have like full lyrics. That's like the hardest part I would say about the whole operation is just I write these lyrics where I just talk about these personal things in my life. A lot of stuff I've been going through. And then I don't know what it is, but I break down and forget like all the lyrics.
okay. So it's like a breakdown thing, and then like the next day, like you go to bed and you wake up and you're like, no, just mumbling.
Exactly.
From here. Okay, yeah. Is there like subliminal messaging in that mumbling? Like I was listening and I heard some like I don't really know. It was like water, 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 water. I was like drinking water. Is that what we're doing here? Like,
Yes.
is that subliminal messages? Maybe?
Subliminal messages. I like to give a lot of positive energy and positive vibes out there because
Okay.
I'm somebody who, like, from every chakra, is just positive vibes. So I try to just say yeah, because yes is positivity.
Okay. How do you achieve that positive sound through your mumble jazz music?
A lot of yeah and ooh.
Okay.
The ooh especially is one of those things where if you think about when you say ooh in your life, it's usually a good time.
Really? Okay. Interesting. What about, how do you achieve that sound like technology-wise? Like, what are you using? What are you running through?
So we had, viewers will be able to see the monstrosity I had on that table, but
Yeah, what was some of that? Like,
it's bad cable management, and we got an auto-tune pedal.
okay.
When I was younger, earlier in my career, I did like when The Voice came to Cleveland, I got through a couple rounds, and
Really? This is for real?
yeah, and
Okay.
it made my family proud. Like my
Okay.
family, they don't.
How do they feel about this?
I haven't talked to them since I got canceled a couple months ago.
Why'd you get canceled? Do we want to not talk about that on here?
That was one of the things I said. Yeah, that we don't talk about.
Okay. So let's move on. Give us a refresher on the origin of UNC D, the name, the persona, versus you, Dante. Like, how can we? What's similar? What's different? Where'd the name come from?
So the name kind of comes from Uncle Dante,
Okay.
which was kind of a derogatory term that my friends gave me because the joke was that I was never going to be a father because there's certain things you need to do in your life to become a father.
So you're just uncle.
So I was only going to be able to be an uncle.
Okay. Well, later on we're going to talk about fatherhood, and I'm guessing you got that like nickname in middle school, maybe.
Unfortunately, a little later.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about like that whole experience too later on when we play our game. But let's see. I watched your last interview on Kentcore, and you mentioned how you draw inspiration from the late 90s, early 2000s ball bangers. How has that made its way into mumble jazz?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm all about the 2000s club bangers like T-Pain, Usher, Akon. Now I'm doing a Fergie song and a Pussycat Doll song.
Wow.
But it's just because I feel like that was a time in my life where, or maybe in all of our lives where things were simpler.
Okay.
And not
Just
so
good
heavy.
vibes.
Good
Bringing you
vibes.
back to the original chakras. I got
Yes.
it. I got it. What about like, I don't know, that it's very funky, your music, kind of like, the ball bangers that you love. How do you like, I don't know, how has your music changed from what you used to be doing to like now, yet still holding on to that 90s, 2000s feel,
That's a great question. Well, today I performed as a solo artist. Usually I have a band with me, but it's one of those things where, you try to get people to work with you, but when nobody in town wants to work with you, you can only work with yourself. So I had a band. They left me after I got canceled, and then now I'm doing like the more electronic stuff because when you have a drum machine, you don't need a drummer who's going to criticize you, who's going to not return your calls.
You don't need that negative
who
energy.
owes you money. Yeah,
you don't need that.
Exactly.
Okay. What about these song titles? I'm guessing they're kind of like acronyms for things. I don't know.
Yes.
In obviously like volume 1, volume 2.
Yes. So I don't like vowels.
Okay.
I find it more fun to just kind of skip that part.
Unc D, got it.
Exactly. So with the mumble jazz and specifically, all the titles are just gibberish. Well, not gibberish. They all mean something.
Subliminal messages.
But there are a lot of subliminal messages.
Okay.
But I like to mumble the titles since the words are mumbled.
Can we get some like examples?
Some examples. The song that came out today with 645 AR. If anybody knows Ford the Trap, famous mosquito rapper from Atlanta. Our song that came out today was called Six Eyes. That's the name of the song, about like flip up sunglasses that you put on your glasses.
Do you have some?
I have some in my car. It's the only way.
Handy.
But that was spelled 6XYS. And then all the mumble songs have an extension .mmbl. I don't know what that means, but it just looks cool.
Okay. Is there anything big like coming up for you? Like any new albums coming out or performances? What
Yes, all of the above. And we just started releasing the next Mumble Jazz album, Mumble Jazz Speaking in Tunks. And the first single came out today, February 24th. And soon, now I'm at the point where I release once a week. So we alternate albums that come out with singles. So the next album that'll be out is called Funkstown. And it's my tribute to Youngstown, my home city, where I learned everything about playing funky. And the point of the album is every song is called Youngstown so that we can knock off Bruce Springsteen from having the top song when you search Youngstown. So that starts coming out March 10th. And then show-wise, we got a lot of shows. I'll be playing in Columbus on the 3rd at Woodlands Tavern, Pittsburgh at Club Cafe the 12th, and then most importantly, Beachland Ballroom March 24th for Vibe and Color 6. And we're going to do like a big, I'll have a bigger band with me. We're going to play both the new Mumble Jazz album that you heard today and then also Funkstown, and we're going to record like a big concert video for it.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Okay, are we going to see some of that on like social media as well if you can attend?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes,
awesome.
there should be a full through concert film all the way through, one shot camera with clean audio, and then also probably behind the scenes. My dude Tommy was talking to me about it today, where he wants to get the extra stuff, and we'll see how that comes out.
Awesome. All right. Well.
Could I ask you a question?
Okay.
So, there's a game tomorrow.
There's a game tomorrow.
And I have like $200
Okay.
on Philadelphia.
Okay.
Should I bet for them or not?
I'm not a sports girl, but we'll go with yes.
Okay.
You know
Positivity.
what? Who's the second team in this game?
I think the Maryland Milkers. They're a new team.
Do you get good energy from them?
Yes.
The other team
Yeah,
that
the
you're
other
not
team.
betting for.
Yes.
So why are we betting for Philly?
Mostly, I honestly don't know. Honestly, I don't know what anything is anymore.
We have an imposter on the set. Okay, well, all right. This has been pretty interesting, but hang tight, watchers at home. We will be right back with the soundtrack to Unc D's life. Thanks for sticking with us. Now it's game time. We're going to be building the soundtrack to Unc D's life. So, let's get started with your birth. What, maybe like your mom's favorite song, like, or what do you think like describes that night, that day that Unc D was born?
Wow. So, Unc D was born in June of 2019. I personally, as my legal name, was born much earlier than that. But I would say a good soundtrack. My mom was all about like 80s funk. Like I feel like Fantastic Voyage. I forget the name of the artist who makes that song, but if you know Fantastic Voyage, that's the song I always think about with my mom. Solid funk jam.
Just some good funk 80s funky tunes.
Super.
You were funky out the womb, like.
Oh no, that's. I wish I was. I wasn't.
Unc D came to be. What were you
Yes.
then? Like.
Well,
Were you an awkward like kid? I was gonna ask like an album to describe your early childhood. Like.
Ooh. So the Beatles.
All right.
It took me a long time to actually get. Even though my mother listened to funk music, I didn't know anything about grooving or funk music or jazz or anything until I was well into college. Like pretty much everything I had before that was like rock. But in terms of my childhood, the Beatles were very influential. Their anthology series I had on cassette, and that was like my first favorite album.
Awesome. On cassette. Oh my god.
Super cool. Yes,
Yeah.
cassette.
Okay. What about like your middle school years? How the awkward middle school years? How
Wow.
I feel like middle school is when you start to find like your taste in music, you know? So do you agree with that or
For me, thank God I didn't. I mean, I started to really get into music.
Me too,
but
yeah.
I was really into emo stuff back in
Yeah.
the day.
Like what kind of emo?
Um,
What were you? This is gonna expose you.
This
It's
is so
gonna cancel you
painful.
again, maybe.
It's fun, but they're like Escape the Fates. If anybody knows Escape the Fate.
I feel like you and my sister would have been friends in like middle school. She was very like, she had like these big chunky DC shoes and like tried to skateboard. It was interesting. Was that you, or were you more like?
That was pretty much me.
Okay, yeah.
I tried to skateboard and then fell on my butt every time.
So like you'd be like, you'd have like your cassette player, like you'd be like skateboarding and then like listening to your emo music. You thought you were like the coolest.
Oh, I thought it was pretty cool.
You probably were the like you went to go hang out at like the electric boxes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Have you seen those? Like, did you hang out there with your friends?
I would hang out there. Middle school, I did a lot of like barn hanging out. I grew up somewhat in the country burbs.
Yeah.
And my one friend had a barn where that was pretty much the spot. And then we made a big teepee in the woods, and that was like the party spot in middle school and early high school.
Okay. Yeah. What about those high school years? And more specifically, I mean, I don't know when your first kiss was, but a song to describe your first kiss.
Well,
What even happened? Like,
I'm trying to think. I would say We Are Family. I think they're the Slip Sisters. I had a very weird time with sexuality because for most of my life, my uncle would kiss me and do other things. So I didn't know that was a thing you're supposed to do with girls.
All right. Well, what about your first kiss? Like, what? Like real first kiss.
Like real first kiss.
Have you not had one?
No, I had one.
How'd that go?
It went pretty awkward.
Pretty awkward? It's
as
always
they all
awkward. Do. So what's the song?
Ooh,
we can't go with We Are Family. Come on.
All right, what's the song here? I'll say...
Or that reminds you of her. Or him. Don't cancel me. Or they.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a they. Yeah, Uncle, he used to be Dino, but we don't talk to his side of the family anymore for obvious reasons.
The kiss.
But the kiss.
The kiss.
So I'd say, what's that song? It's like, ba-na-ma-ba-na-na-ma, ba-na-na-na-na. I'd say that one.
So the Make My Way Downtown.
There you go.
The like 2000s girly girl like
Yes.
anthem.
Yes.
All right, that's what she was.
That's pretty much one of her
Respect.
ones.
Okay, you had game then. She was cool.
So little game.
Oh, well, let's go to prom night. Moving on. Did you like go to prom with her? Like
with that girl that I
different?
kissed? No.
No. Do you remember any like iconic song from your prom night that really defined that time?
What was the Nicki Minaj and Chris Brown song? I don't want to say the words, but it was like, but.
Oh, all right.
That one, it was lit.
It was lit. Did you have a good time at prom?
Yeah, I did have a good time at prom.
Okay. Let's move on to your wedding. What's your first dance gonna be to?
Ooh.
With your special someone. Do you have a special someone?
I do have a special someone.
Oh shoot.
And I hope she's not watching this because, well, it doesn't matter. But I don't think.
Have you guys picked one?
What's that?
Oh, is this like too early on? Maybe I shouldn't like ask.
This is actually very embarrassing.
Okay. So, okay, we'll move on. Well, at my wedding, I really want Fade Into You by Mazzy Star to play. I guess I'll just do the questions myself.
I don't know what you're talking
So fatherhood.
about. I don't know. She's just asking stuff. I don't know. I didn't say anything about it. Okay. All right. Love you too. Yes, I have my.
Do I need to talk to her? Like,
No, it's fine. It's okay. I just wanted to give her a heads up.
all right.
We're good.
So, are you guys gonna have any kids together?
This is very awkward because I hate to bring politics in this, but I recently had to drive her to Indiana.
Oh, okay.
To
Well,
prevent us from having kids.
so you're not gonna be a father. So your uncle. Your uncle.
I'm gonna be an uncle. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what's your uncle anthem?
My uncle.
What are you
anthem.
gonna like pick your nieces and nephews up, like take them to get ice cream? Like, what music are you gonna play?
Ooh, that's a great question. So when they're young,
What are you putting them on? Like,
am I
I
putting
know
them
I'm
on?
trying to make my niece super cool, so I'm trying to put her on my stuff. So what about you?
see, I'm not. Even though I make mumble jazz, I'm not necessarily the #1 like jazz listener guy. But that being said, when I'm with children, and I'm related to them, so I'm not trying to do anything weird to them.
Yeah.
I will. And like when their parents are cool with me being with them, and the government,
You're all good to
everything that
like
they have
go
to do.
out. Yeah.
Yes,
What
I'd
are you
say
playing?
Jazz music because it's nice to have people get that kind of instrumental
funky vibe.
expression. Yes.
The start to the funky vibe, I guess.
Yes.
The root. Okay. Yeah. All right. What about when you're aging, you're retired, you're like going on vacation, driving around in like your Cadillac? What's gonna be playing in there
Cruising by.
when you're like almost dead?
Well, I'm trying to be on the cruise ship vibe. Like there, you can.
My grandma just went on a cruise and was sending me so many pictures, and I'm like, I'm living my travel dreams through her. So
You could, and
Yeah.
you're playing to death dreams. Like you can go there with a terminal illness, or somebody who, if you go to international waters, they can kill you, where it's not illegal. I forget what that's called, euthanasia maybe. But that's how I want to go out. You just eat a bunch of buttery goodness, sit around the pool, listen to reggae music,
honestly, me too.
and then they just take you out in one of those cabins.
All right. So what would that last song be?
Cruising, Smokey Robinson, or the
Okay.
D'Angelo version of Cruising.
Okay. Cool. And now, what's playing at your funeral? Like when the slideshow's rolling of you.
Well, it depends on who owes me money.
Ooh. All right. All
Because-
right. And what is that final lyric gonna be on your gravestone?
Hopefully, if all the mumble jazz thing goes right and I don't have to stop
Just
it,
vowels.
hopefully it's just like
Just
ooh,
vowels. Okay.
ooh or yeah.
Like not like rest in peace, just RP
Oh.
DNT.
Don't say my last name.
I
Thanks.
don't know it.
That's
All
fine.
right. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much. And that's all the time we have for tonight. So be sure to follow us on social media at Kentcore TV2 to stay up to date with the latest episodes, articles, and playlists. I'm Alaina Hoover, and have a great night, Portage County.